Hello, and thank you for joining my webinar today. If you're here, you're motivated to get rid of your crippling brain fog symptoms and clear your mind so that you can feel focused and sharp. And it's okay if you feel you have a lot of work to do on your health. This training is going to show you how it's possible to improve your concentration, your memory, and your mood in 3 steps. I am Christine, and I'm really glad you're here today. I'm excited to share the information in this training so that you can start improving your brain health today. As you'll find out during the webinar, I really stumbled into improving my own brain health when I was trying to better my health for a totally different reason. And perhaps like you, I just thought living with brain fog was normal. I didn't really even know what brain fog was. I just knew that I felt a little bit off, but I believed it was something I just had to live with. But I'm here to tell you that it's not normal, and there's definitely something you can do about it. So let's get started. So if you're wondering who exactly this webinar is for, I want to go over a few examples of who it's really best suited for. So for example, if you have a busy, hectic work and home life schedule that really leaves you feeling overwhelmed and mentally drained, and the thought of going through it all again tomorrow is just exhausting. Maybe you wish there was just a way to really revitalize your mental energy. Or maybe you just don't feel as though your brain is functioning as well as it used to, or as well as it should, which has become incredibly frustrating for you. Poor focus and concentration seems to interfere with your job performance and ability to be yourself with your friends and your family. Or you'll see third on there that, maybe you're a high achieving perfectionist by nature and you just want to be the best version of yourself, but you feel that your overscheduled life might never allow you the time to focus on your own well-being because you're just too busy taking care of everyone else. And as an example of that one, perhaps on a typical day, you're making sure the kids get out of the house and to school on time in the morning. You're at work all day, taking kids to sports practice after work. Is any of this sounding familiar? You're making sure dinner gets on the table at night, and then you're getting the kids to bed, and by then you are exhausted. And it just feels like there is no time left for you at all. Another example who this webinar might be for is if you are someone who just feels scattered and chaotic and pulled in multiple directions, and you wish you could find a way to feel more balanced, centered, and stable. Next, maybe lately you just don't seem to enjoy things that used to bring you a lot of happiness, and you're losing hope that life could be as joyful as it once was. And then last but not least, maybe you've tried to make changes in your health habits from time to time, but nothing has really seemed to stick. And at this point, you're just not sure what to do or if anything is going to work. Maybe you've started and stopped several diets, you vowed to exercise a few times a week, but found life just kept getting in the way. Or perhaps you've tried going to bed earlier, only just to throw up your hands after a week of missing your bedtime goal. This is all very common, and if this sounds like you are not alone. You are exactly in the right place. So here's what we'll cover today. Up first, you don't have to live with brain fog, so stop telling yourself that this is just the way things are, or it's just the way you're wired, because that's not the case. Second, I'm going to encourage you to just give yourself a break. I'm going to explain why perhaps you've been a little too extreme in the past, and maybe that's what stopped you from really creating these new, healthy, long-lasting habits that you've been trying to create. Third, stop thinking that you don't have what it takes to succeed. This is a big one. So I'm going to tell you why you just haven't found your superpower yet. It's something that you already have. So we'll go through that as well. Here's my promise to you today. I'm going to show you how you can eliminate your brain fog and regain your focus. And I'm going to show you how you can do this without going to any extremes and how it can work for you even if your health still has a long way to go. And this is really important. There's absolutely nothing for sale today, but I do have, in fact, actually a couple free gifts I'm going to give you if you stay until the end. So I hope you stick around until then to find out what those are. Okay, so does this sound familiar? You find yourself struggling to make it through the workday because you are so mentally exhausted, and you're just experiencing a slower thinking ability than usual, which you find incredibly frustrating. You might even have trouble understanding what you read, and maybe you have to reread it a couple times just to really understand it. And that morning cup of joe, your morning coffee, just doesn't seem to help anymore. Next, yes, getting irritated with your spouse is pretty normal, but lately you've been feeling like every little thing can set you off. Your spouse may have even commented that you seem more short tempered than usual, and it's all starting to really affect your relationship. Third, perhaps you've been forgetting the names of people and things that you feel you should know, you should easily know, and sometimes it might be a challenge for you just to find the right word. That right word just seems to elude you. And up next, there you remain frazzled for a really long time after stressful events in your life. So even the more minor things you don't think should be a big deal, like maybe you spill coffee on your desk at work. It just seems to take a long time to shake these kinds of things off, longer than you think it should take. So you might also feel so disorganized and unfocused that you can barely make a dent in your super long, never-ending to-do list. At least it feels that way. And this really leaves you feeling really, really stressed and overwhelmed. Or you're just less motivated than you used to be at work. And maybe you're letting opportunities for advancement just slip by in a way that you don't feel like you would have in the past. Or you're now experiencing a sense of hopelessness or even mild depression that leaves you feeling disconnected from friends and family, and you feel just a loss of interest in activities that you really used to enjoy. And last but not least, maybe your kids are overachievers just like you, and you just feel drained by all that's on their plate. Maybe you often feel that you just don't have the mental energy to participate in all their activities or help with their homework when they ask you, and that leaves you feeling guilty. So, in summary, you just feel that if you wait any longer, your job and or your relationships are going to suffer beyond repair. That's the big fear. But the good news is that change is possible, and you can get that mental clarity, focus, and energy that you seek. You can get that back through lifestyle changes. And this is even if you've tried to change your health habits before and you've never been able to stick to them. You've never been able to see them through. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So picture this. I've even got the imagine thought bubbles here for you. So imagine the following. If life could be like this, that you are moving through each workday with mental sharpness and focus that allows you to not only be super productive, but also enjoy your work and reconnect with your passion for what you do. Up next, you'll see you're feeling totally present and energetic as you cart the kids to their various activities and help them tackle that challenging math homework. And in the third bubble there, you'll see Just imagine remaining calm and in control when you are dealing with that coworker that everyone has that just makes your job more difficult, or a child who refuses to go to bed, or a partner who just can't seem to remember to ever put those dishes in the dishwasher. Or imagine that you're feeling a sense of joy and optimism that motivates you to ask an old friend to lunch, or to reconnect, or just to go confidently after that promotion at work. And in that last thought bubble, you'll see, imagine having the clarity and focus to follow through on things you've been wanting to do for a while now, like maybe cleaning out and reorganizing your closet, or throwing a fabulous dinner party, or maybe planting that garden in your backyard that you've been dreaming about. Okay, so before I go into how you can start living your best life, I thought I'd tell you a little bit more about myself so that you know who's talking to you today. Okay, so this is my family. Obviously, these are people who are very important in my life. Up in the top left, you'll see it's me and my husband and my amazing stepkids. And then in the middle there, me and my husband on a trip to Belgium that we took. That's in Bruges there. And then on the far right, that is me with my adorable niece and nephew. And then my sister in the lower right, she works in the fitness world. So there we are working out together. And in the bottom, that's me and my stepdaughter doing the yoga challenge. So we've had some fun yoga challenge sessions together, and that's one of the poses we were able to strike. And then my parents are with me and my husband and my sister's family there in the lower left. So that was a fun time. Also, my friends, very important in my life. You'll see I like to do a lot of outdoor activities, and I'm lucky to have friends that share that interest. So, yeah, that's at the Grand Canyon in the right, and taking a hike in the lower left, and having some fun on the hammock there up in the upper left corner. And very important in my life are my fur babies. I have my husband and I have two cats and a dog, and there's me with Phoenix in the upper left. He's my little cuddle baby. He's always climbing all over me. And then Mia's my playful fur baby, begging me to play with her toy there in the lower left, and I'm playing with her mouse in the upper right. And then Honor is my running partner. There we are running in the park, and then he and Phoenix are buds there. So there they are hanging out in the lower right. Okay, so now that you know a little bit more about me, I'm going to continue on with that and share a little bit about my personal journey. Most coaches have a reason that they became a coach and chose to specialize in the area that they did, and I am no different. As I mentioned, I have some pretty great stepkids and a niece and nephew, but you might have noticed that there were no pics of any biological children of my own. And I really wanted children, and my husband and I tried to get pregnant pretty soon after we got married. And I did. I actually got pregnant fairly quickly, but sadly, I suffered a miscarriage after 6 weeks. And after still not being able to get pregnant about a year later, I started to look into all the lifestyle factors that might be affecting my ability to get pregnant. And I'd always been pretty passionate about physical fitness, but it was eye-opening to learn just how much nutrition, sleep, stress levels, and chemicals and everyday home and beauty products could really affect fertility. That was kind of a surprise for me. And I started to make changes in all aspects of my lifestyle, and the unintended consequence was that I noticed that I actually had more mental energy, more focus, less headaches, and just a better mood overall. And I had always just assumed that difficulty concentrating and poor focus and memory, was just the way that I was wired, and that how I felt was quote unquote normal. Um, but I really had no idea that I could feel so focused and have so much mental energy and clarity. I just didn't know that changing my lifestyle would boost my mood, allowing me to feel more joy, which, to be quite honest, I really needed at that very difficult time in my life. It was really hard, and I had unintentionally found a way to transform my brain from foggy to fabulous. And I knew that I wanted to help others do the same thing, achieve the same. Which leads me to this quote, which I absolutely I love. We hear so much about physical fitness and heart health and all the ways to get our body in shape, which are very important, but we just don't hear as much about getting our brain in shape, which I find interesting because our brain is perhaps the only irreplaceable organ in our body. Your brain is what makes you you, and you only get one. So I'm excited to help you make that super valuable, one of a kind organ the best that it can possibly be. And just to wrap up my story, in the end, my particular fertility issue turned out to be one that couldn't be resolved by healthy lifestyle changes, but it led me to where I am today as a health and wellness coach, and for that I am so very grateful. And my husband and I are now pursuing other ways to start a family, so stay tuned for that. So my journey isn't over there. So I also wanted to share a little bit about my qualifications and how I'm able to best help my clients. And even before my fertility struggle, I pursued a master's degree in counseling so that I could help people live the life that they wanted to live. I wanted to help elevate people by improving their mental health. However, conventional psychology is really focused on fixing problems or disorders, and coaching seemed to be more in line with what I felt truly passionate about, which was helping people use their strengths to thrive. So I got certified through Well Coaches School of Coaching, and became a national board certified health and wellness coach as well by passing the national exam. And getting these certifications was important to me because I don't just want to call myself a coach. I wanted to make sure I knew the evidence-based methods to actually help my clients achieve real behavior change. There is a science to it. And I'm also proud to be a part of the small, handpicked group of wellness professionals that were selected as the first ever cohort for a lifestyle medicine for the brain training program through the Academy for Brain Health and Performance. So just another way to really help my clients achieve the best possible results. And it's really that combination of my passion for helping people become the best versions of themselves, along with my constant, never ending quest for knowledge to make sure that I am able to help my clients in the absolute best way possible. All that together, I feel makes me a good coach. So that is my story. And I'm so fortunate to get to work with such amazing clients. And as an example, my client Melody, when she started working with me, she didn't really have a clear picture of where she wanted to go. She just knew she wanted to live life more fully and become a better version of herself. And she is a busy, high achieving professional who puts in long days at work, and she just wasn't sure she would have the time to make the necessary lifestyle changes. But through our weekly sessions, she developed a clearer picture of what she wanted and learned how manageable goals could really fit into her hectic schedule. And I could see her energy levels and her zest for life really increase each week. And after 3 months together, she told me I'd helped her change her life, and that was so powerful to me. And the quote here that you see is an excerpt from a beautiful card that she wrote me. So I really feel so lucky to get to work with amazing clients like her every day. It's just a truly wonderful feeling. So here's the bottom line: you can eliminate your brain fog and regain your focus no matter where you are in your wellness journey right now. You might feel like you don't have the time, just like Melanie did, in your crazy hectic schedule, but you can do it. You can wellify your brain by following these three following steps. So, step one is that it doesn't have to be this way. You do not have to live like this, no matter what you might think. So, let me explain what I mean by that. So, this is what you might currently believe: that first, you might feel like your lack of concentration, your low mental energy, your lackluster memory, and your moodiness are normal, that these are just typical signs of getting older. You also might believe that you're experiencing all this just because of the stress of everyday life. Your life is hectic, your life is busy, and you might just believe there's not much you can do about that. So you just have to live like this. Why do you believe this? First, there's no shortage of information out there about how healthy habits are good for your heart. Cardio is pretty much synonymous with exercise, and heart healthy is just plastered all over food products we see all the time. But you just don't hear nearly as much about how taking care of your health will also impact your brain. So it's really not all that surprising that you would make that connection. And second, it's really easy to blame stress for all of our issues. And in many cases, it is a big troublemaker. But the reality is, it's not always the culprit. And there are actually many different factors that play into your brain health, which leads me to the opportunity here for change. The good news is you don't have to live like you are. These are my 5 Wellify pillars of health, and they can be the key to reversing your symptoms. Focusing on creating healthy lifestyle habits in these 5 areas will make a difference in your brain health. Your brain fog will start to clear, and those scenarios that I showed you in the just imagine thought bubbles will become your reality. And just as a quick example, if you take the nutrition pillar, to help you reduce your brain fog, you might consider boosting your intake of those healthy omega-3 fatty acids, such as fatty fish and shellfish, as well as the rainbow foods you see there, which include fruits and veggies of every color of the rainbow. And yes, even small amounts of dark chocolate, which is a highly potent antioxidant, in addition to being delicious. Okay, so step 2, stop being so extreme. And let me explain what I mean by that. So you might currently think that if you miss just one day of eating healthy, or you skip a gym workout, you've failed and you might as well just give up now. Or you think being healthy is about eating only perfectly healthy meals or doing these super complicated, intense workouts. You might also think that if you aren't making lifestyle changes quickly, that you're not doing something right. And again, that tendency is just to give up. And you likely believe these things because, first, good old social media. We're bombarded of images of health gurus online who are always in yoga pants, exercising somewhere beautiful and exotic, and people eating these magazine cover worthy healthy meals that look like they took hours to prepare. So it's no wonder that many people are intimidated and believe that living a healthy lifestyle is just unattainable. And as for the second point, maybe you heard somewhere it takes 21 days to form a new habit. And, that's kind of the number that's stuck in your head. Plus, you know somebody who lost weight in 3 weeks on some super restrictive diet, and you think to yourself that, I should be able to do the same. And if I can't, this just isn't going to work. But here's the real deal: being healthy and well isn't about being a fitness fanatic 7 days a week or abstaining from all carbs. Living in a state of extremes is no fun, let's be honest. And it can even be unhealthy. I believe that life is about balance, and being healthy is really a lifestyle. It's not a trendy diet, and it's not an exercise routine that's going to burn you out. And as for the second point, many people are under the impression that if they're going to be healthy, they have to be willing to change everything in their life all at once. And this is just so not true. Long-lasting change happens bit by bit in very small, manageable steps. Small changes, you gradually become habits, and those habits become your new lifestyle. So if there's something that you want to change in your life right now, pick one thing you can start doing that will put you one step closer to your wellness vision, which is basically how you see your ideal self 6 months down the road. You don't have to do this every day. Maybe you only start with 1 or 2 days a week. The point is that you do it and that you're consistent. And when your weekly goals start to become routine and just second nature, you start to up the number of days a week and then add in other goals that put you closer to your wellness vision. And if you do that in 3 to 6 months' time, you'll achieve your wellness vision and never look back. And I want to give you an example that might help make that a little bit more clear. Let's say you know that you need to get to bed earlier because 6 hours of sleep a night is probably contributing to your brain fog. You might decide to start with an earlier bedtime, let's say 10:30, and you do that a couple times a week. And I'll say this: do not jump right into trying to go to bed early every night, because it's most likely not going to work long term. It's just not sustainable. The key to building new habits are small wins. So just pick 1 or 2 nights when you're pretty confident that you'll be able to get to bed on time. So look at this as an experiment. And if you do make it to bed on time, notice what really worked well for you. Did you set a phone reminder and that was super helpful? Did you practice a bedtime ritual? Were you reading for 10 minutes or doing some light stretches? Or did you notice that turning the TV off a half an hour before bedtime was helpful? So just take note of these things and keep doing the things that work. And if you don't succeed, that's okay. Just think about what you might do different next week to achieve your goal. All right, so step 3, discover your superpower and your sidekick. Are you intrigued? All right, let me explain a little more about this one. So you might currently believe that you don't think you have what it takes to successfully reach your wellness vision. You know other people can do it, as we've seen all over social media, what I mentioned before, but somehow you think you're just different and you just don't think you have that thing, that whatever it takes to be a success. You might believe this because you've set health goals for yourself in the past, and maybe even the same goals year after year, but you just have never succeeded. And at this point, you feel like it's impossible. But imagine yourself discovering your superpowers and other hidden tools you didn't know that you have, and using them to successfully achieve your health and wellness goals. You can learn about your strengths by taking this free assessment that I've put the link to right here through the VIA Character Strength Survey. And you can also learn about your values will also play a really key role in your success. So your values are what drive you and motivate you and inspire you. And they're really what make you tick and keep you going. So I've listed a couple questions here to ponder. that will help you really get to your core values. And here's why strength and values are your superpower and sidekick. So you can use your strengths to successfully achieve your goals. What you do is you find ways to incorporate them into how you tackle each goal, which is going to really dramatically increase your chances of success. And then the more you connect your values to your goals, you know your why behind what you're doing. The more you do that, the more likely you are to stay on track and ultimately succeed. These two things, your strength and your values, are super, super key to your success. And if you haven't thought about them before, this is the time to do it to help you on your wellness journey. So let me break this down into an example for you as well. Let's say on the VIA survey, you score particularly high in curiosity as a strength. And after pondering those values questions I gave you, you discover that you really value your achievements and the positive contribution that you feel these achievements make to the world. And so as you set those weekly goals, think about how you can use that sense of curiosity to your advantage. You might enjoy researching new, creative, healthy recipes, or maybe you'll be inspired to learn more about why exercise is so good for the brain, which is going to motivate you even more to get moving. Then, as you work towards your goals, always keep in mind how that goal connects to your values. So if you value achievement, think about how each health goal is taking you one step closer to a clear, focused, razor-sharp mind that allows you to achieve great things that are going to make this world a better place. So you already have the tools to succeed, even though you might not know it yet. And once you discover these hidden superpowers and put them to work, there is just no stopping you as you journey towards better brain health. Okay, so today I promised to review a few things, and so I just want to recap here. First up, it doesn't have to be this way. You can take steps to change how you feel. You just need the right information to be able to do it. Second, I said to stop thinking in extremes when it comes to making lifestyle changes. Go easy on yourself and give yourself the necessary time to develop new habits. You got to be patient with yourself, and if you are, you will get long-lasting results. Third, and last but not least, everyone has their own unique strengths and values. And if you discover both, you have a huge advantage when it comes to reaching your wellness vision. So at this point, you really have a few different options. First, you can stay right where you are. You certainly don't have to do anything. Second, you could really take the information I've given you and start to implement my steps today. And if you choose to do that, I wish you all the best, and I'm so glad that you're taking steps towards improving your brain health. Third is to work with me, and I can guide you along every step of the way on your journey to better brain health. And to do that, I invite you to join my signature Wellify Your Brain program, where we'll work together to eliminate your brain fog and get you thinking and feeling like your best self. And don't worry if you feel you've been neglecting your health or have a lot of changes you need to make on your journey to better brain health. That's okay. Remember, this is about small, manageable steps and gradual change. You'll get there, and I'm here to help. Here's the first free gift that I mentioned earlier. If you're interested in chatting with me to see if my program could be a good fit for you, grab a spot on my calendar. This is a complimentary discovery call, and these spots do fill up quickly. So I encourage you to book your time today if this is something you feel you might be interested in. Here's how it works. Go ahead and click on the button on your screen or just wait to be redirected. This is going to take you to my calendar, at which point just pick a time that works best for you, and I'll reach out to you at your scheduled time. And then when we speak, we'll get started on an action plan that will take you to your wellness vision over the next few months. So, again, this program is for you if you're suffering from mental fatigue, poor focus, scattered thoughts, and just a loss of interest in things you used to really enjoy. And it's also for you if you've started to lose hope or have already lost hope that any of those things can really change. And it's for you if you know you have a great job that you're really proud of and a wonderful family that you love and adore, but you feel like both will suffer, perhaps beyond repair, if you continue on the way things have been going. Deep down, you know something has to change. So if this sounds like you, go ahead and book your complimentary discovery call now. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And while you're on my booking page, you'll get your second free gift that I mentioned earlier, which is a recap of today's 3 steps that you can print out and keep for yourself and reference down the road. So I wanted to just share why I do this. I love helping people think and feel better. And I feel incredibly lucky that I'm getting to live my passion. This is what I do each and every day. I get to help my clients live their best life. And, I've also been in your shoes. I was living with brain fog symptoms and I believed it was normal. And when I started to change my lifestyle for fertility reasons, I actually transformed my brain health. And a healthy lifestyle means a healthy brain and a better life. And I know what it takes to get you there. And then at the end of our call, that we have together, we'll both determine if my program is going to be a good fit for you. And if it's not, that's completely fine because I want to see you succeed. So if either of us doesn't think this is going to work for you for whatever reason, I will wish you the very best and we'll part ways right then. But if we do decide to work together, you will learn all about my 5 Wellify pillars of health and what you can do within each area to start clearing the fog from your brain. You'll also get your very own Wellify playbook to track your goals, strengths, values, and much more, which you get to keep when you finish the program. And you'll, of course, get weekly one-on-one coaching sessions with me, so you're never alone on your wellness journey. And while all my clients get the same resources, I tailor my program to you and your specific needs. So no one coaching program is exactly the same. This is all about the lifestyle changes you want to make to achieve your wellness vision. And I vow to be there to support and help guide you as you develop new health habits that will transform your brain so you get to live well and stay well down the road. As I mentioned before, I've set aside some time in the next few days for complimentary discovery calls, but these slots do fill up quickly. So if this program sounds like it could be a good fit for you, I really encourage you to book a time with me as soon as possible. Let me help you wellify your brain so you can live your best life. Thank you so much for joining today, and I hope to hear from you soon.